Welcome back to episode 40 of the XboxNorth podcast. This week we discuss console wars getting out of hand and entering a surgery room, if you can believe it. Also, Capcom just announced a new IP called Exoprimal, a spiritual successor to Dino Crisis, maybe. It also looks like we're going to be playing Overwatch 2 a lot sooner than we think, maybe even on a new Xbox. All this and much more on this week's episode of the Xbox North podcast. But, please take the time to like, share, and subscribe if you guys can. But that out of the way. Dan, how is surviving the apocalypse going these days?
Oh, great. We're, I've mostly been still playing DayZ. But
yeah, I was going to say, that means
preparation. DayZ. Yeah, because basically this weekend we're doing Raid Weekend. And because we got enough players on Blue Team, on our Discord and everything, they popped in a special map for us, or like a special base for us. So they modded in a big castle base around like a whole bunch of extra spawned in areas. So we got a bunch of army tents, we got medical tents, we got hunting cabins, we got a police station, a business, we got a whole bunch of bunkers and shit, some watchtowers. And now we're fortifying the crap out of it because bases are indestructible most of the time, except on Raid Weekend. On Raid Weekend, you can break them down. So we got to be careful, and we got to make sure that they can't get in. So I've come up with a pretty devious plan. I hope that we're just putting as many walls as possible in the hallway to get into our base, so that it would just take an absolutely obscene amount of ammunition and everything to be able to get in.
So when they come in, they're low on stuff if they make it through?
Well, it takes I think 20 grenades or something to be able to, or 15 grenades, and grenades are hard to come by. They're not easy to come by. Or 150 rounds from a shotgun or something like that. And or an assault rifle, so it takes a crazy amount of ammo to get through one wall. And I think I've got 8 so far on each door.
Okay. So, and are you guys how do you guys get ammo? Do you guys craft ammo after a while, or is it just all scrounged or something?
So that's the beautiful thing. Normally you'd have to leave your base and go out and gather it all and everything. We've got I think 12 army tents right inside our base that spawns ammo for us. And the only problem we have to worry about is we've got some zombies in the front, but apparently they're going to mod those out for us. And just in the front half of the base. And then there's gas that comes every once in a while. So basically we just need to be careful about the gas. Only one guy's died to the gas so far, but every so often it'll just randomly get gassed. And so you got to get to a safe area or log off and wait out the gas, and then you can get back on. But it'll potentially work out for us, because if somebody's trying to raid our base, then they don't know about the gas.
Is there other servers that are just a straight up battle royale kind of game?
Well, most of them are battle royale. Ours just happens to have a team system that they set up on Discord. So. And
no, but a short, an hour-long match where you spawn in.
There's no timed matches really. It's just a free-for-all all the time, right? I'm not.
And the map gets smaller or something.
Yeah, I'm sure there's actually a map for that, where they're actually doing the whole battle royale deal. But I haven't actually been on any yet. Just mostly they're mostly just modding in bases and castles and stuff. I jumped into one that was modded, and there was some army stuff on the beach, and there was castles floating on the lake, and
yeah. Well, when I was in there, I came across this huge bridge with a castle on this island on the other side.
Yeah.
I don't know whose base that was. So. Who's your main group? I guess you're against.
So
who's coming after you?
So basically, the groups go by playstyles. So I think Orange is supposed to be the nicest one. So they're they'll help everybody on. They see and like they won't kill anybody on site, so they won't like murder you as soon as they see you or anything. And like they'll share supplies and whatever like that. So it's like if you want to be like a really nice player and you're just collecting stuff and giving it out and everything. We're the blue team, so we're pretty close to the orange team. We have an alliance with them and the green team, which are all kind of nice people, but we're a little more cautious. Like we'll potentially shoot on sight if we don't know who you are, or like we're threatened at all or anything, or maybe if we're a little bored. And then
you gotta watch
it goes all the way to like red and black, and so red and black are like the evilest teams. They're just going to be jerks just to be jerks.
Who's the biggest team?
Our team, I think.
There you go.
We have the biggest base so far anyways. Yeah. So we're monopolizing the space, and we're just loading up on crazy amounts of ammo and everything so we can go out and do missions.
Do you trust everyone in your group?
So we have, there's a team chat on the actual Discord for that server, but we just started a private chat because we're fairly certain there's a mole or two in our team on that Discord server anyways.
I would totally join that Discord and just like message the black people. You're like, you don't understand. I can get in deep.
Just hop on. You're the spy.
Yeah, you're the spy. He's like, Josh, I can literally hear you on the other Discord. He's like, no. They're over here.
Right. But other than that, I've been playing a little more of It Takes Two with the wife. Trying to get her to play some more video games and everything. Yeah. So we're pretty far in now. We just we fought like a few little wasp bosses and stuff, and we're getting farther and farther in. There's lots of cool mini games. We found like a torture mini game where I just like jumped on a button and then it revealed that it just pulls me into a chamber, and she can press all sorts of buttons to just destroy me or torture me or shock me or
There's a bunch of stuff like that in the game. It's pretty interesting.
Like, what do you do with this? I'm like, you just torture me. Like, do whatever you want.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. It's just to see how evil you'll really be.
Exactly, right? It's more of a morality mini game, you know? How evil can you get?
She's lucky I didn't get her in there. Would have been funnier. Like, no, I'm not letting you out.
There you go.
No. And then I also got Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, because apparently it's a standalone now. And I want to try that out and see kind of it as like a prequel to the new Tiny Tina's Wonderlands that's coming out.
Yeah, I thought that was free. How much was it?
The DLC was like, it was $15, I think, with taxes and everything.
Okay. Not bad.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben, is it its own like characters and class trees and stuff? Or is it still the Borderlands 3? I've never played Borderlands 3, so...
So it's basically supposed to be, I believe, like a mix of... Well, you've seen Wonderlands and everything. It's a mix of D&D and Borderlands. And so apparently from some of the reviews of the like early game demos that I've seen people playing, it's going to be a little different from the Assault on Dragon Keep, but still kind of in line with that sort of idea. But it'll have a few new mechanics and some improvements on the weapons and everything that were in that original DLC.
Mm-hmm. Should be interesting. I hope it comes to, like, there's something big coming at the end of March. I don't know. We got a March showcase apparently coming up, so but we'll talk more about that next week probably. Awesome. Definitely. Actually, we were supposed to have a guest on this week, but it kind of got delayed till next week. Sadly, Mrs. Boom. Well, work schedules, life.
Yeah.
Life gets busy, right? So we got to work around it, but he will be joining us next week, so that'll be fun. Nice. But no, DayZ is your addiction right now. We'll see how long it can last for.
See, hopefully not forever.
I hope.
Got some other stuff I want to play soon. Yeah. I'm just trying not to just yet.
I got to play Guardians of the Galaxy tonight, so that's what I want to crack into after this. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Man, I'm watching some weird TV shows, though. I've been watching a lot of the Apple TV Plus.
Oh, yeah.
TV shows through there. So that's some good stuff. Foundation. I've been watching Invasion too, which has been pretty cool. Cool thing about Foundation is the TV show. It's really big. It spans over hundreds of years sometimes, and it's not afraid to just like introduce characters and then they're gone and then new characters come in. I don't know. It doesn't bother me.
Sort of like Game of Thrones style. Like you never know when somebody's going to.
Well, kind of like bigger than that. It's almost like watching lore.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
like a history. It's almost like a history documentary, but yeah.
Oh yeah, and there's drama to it, and I feel like it's starting to find its footing kind of now in episode 4. But the first batch of episodes have been pretty time spanning. That's for sure. So
yeah,
and there's like the people who run this like empire they always have 3 of them. So they call dusk, day, or dusk, day, and then dawn. And then they're all clones of each other, but they're at different stages of their life. And day is always the like ruler of the empire. And then like when dusk dies, then the new baby, not dusk, when dawn dies, the new baby dusk will be in, and then but there's always 3 of them like shifting through the roles,
restarting and resetting.
Yeah, exactly. So it's weird. Pretty interesting show. So I'll give you my login. You can check it out. There's some pretty interesting stuff.
Heck yeah.
So
I mean, we're not sharing anything.
No, exactly, right?
Definitely
Remember
not.
when you used to share a bed? Damn, those are the days. But I've been playing Greedfall also. That's been pretty interesting. Reminds me of Dragon Age.
Okay.
And kind of like stop time and like pick your moves and stuff. So, but I know I'm gonna start playing Guardians of the Galaxy, so that will kind of rip me away from that. So I'm looking forward to playing that tonight. But let's kind of jump right into the show. Kind of want to talk about some toxicity, some crazy stuff, like we were saying at the beginning. Something coming into the surgeon room.
Yeah.
So I guess there's like I didn't go into too much depth of it, but I kind of just wanted to make the audience aware of just how crazy these like fanboys, these guys can get just discussing a topic and being so aligned with a piece of plastic. You can clearly see, and like the thing that blows my mind, the guy's a husband, a doctor, and a father. I'm like, dude, get your priorities together. Like, if you want to talk about consoles all the time, start a podcast.
It was super weird too, because like the main problem with it, like it wouldn't be a problem, I think, like if it was just like showing himself being an actual doctor and being like, okay, like I'm a doctor, like you should respect my opinion, sort of thing. But he actually like turns the camera, and like luckily most of it seems to have been removed from the internet and everything. But I saw like a censored version of it that was just like him, like he's showing off a patient's whole file.
Like, So basically, just to kind of say kind of what happened is these guys were just console warring on Twitter, and it got to the point where this guy had to prove the fact that he was also a doctor, because no one can believe someone, arguing this ridiculously about a piece of like a console on Twitter could actually be a doctor. And then the guy films himself as proof while he's operating on a patient and shows their information, like essentially just docks the the person,
Yeah.
which is
And like goes
absolutely
over the
insane.
whole file. Like it's not even like you could be like, okay, it's the title, like maybe you catch a name or something. But like no, he's like scanning over the whole file. Like here's all of this guy's information. This dude had nothing to do with the argument. It's not like that was the guy he was arguing with. It was just some patient he had just done surgery on. And he's
I feel
just
like now I have to ask my doctor,
why?
what console do you like? Xbox or PlayStation? Because if you say it's PlayStation, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. You get out.
You stay out of my
Like,
insides.
yeah, for real. Like, and the way, like, he even did an apology video, and he instead of calling it console wars, he called it console passion. You know, and I'm like, Jesus, get your your priorities straight. Plus, you're a doctor, man. Like, you should be PC Master Race all the way. Like, you have the paycheck to support it, right? Like, you're doing surgeries and shit. Like, but
Yeah.
I've just never seen. Like, we're fans of Xbox. Clearly, we have an Xbox podcast, but like I said, I don't get into any of the toxicity on Twitter or any of that. I'll laugh at them. It's more so like for this, it's more so like me looking from a distance and watching just like the car crash, like you're watching the train derail, and you're just like, I can't do anything about it, like I'm not the one driving, but I'm gonna watch it. And I've been observing this for a long time. I've never seen a fanboy stoop to that level. Guy's gonna lose his job, man.
Oh yeah, and it's like he's not gonna all that med school is basically gone to waste. And just
my God.
That's the thing that just baffles me about it though. It's just like, why in that fashion? Like you couldn't even respectably enough, I guess you don't want to show the he showed the patient too, the patient's lying there unconscious and everything, where it's like,
but
do you need to do that?
I'd be like, just look me up. Like, I'm a doctor. There's
you
some
could have taken a picture
of
your credentials. You get the whole plaque and everything, or the certificate, the diploma.
Yeah, and it'd be like, oh, so you're actually a real doctor. Okay, so that means you're just still a fucking idiot. You're a doctor. Who's a fucking idiot.
I think it is. Yeah. Yeah, it's just all of that schooling and everything did not teach you how to handle social media properly.
My God. What'd your wife say to you after? It's like really? Imagine you go to your wife and be like, I lost my job because I decided to film myself because I need to prove myself being a doctor because a bunch of fanboys online were console warring at me.
Yeah. And I showed that I was a doctor in the worst possible way.
Oh my God. Oh, talk about taking food off your family's plate right there.
Yeah.
For what? It makes no sense. So anyone's listening to this, don't take this stuff serious. Laugh about it, and don't bring it into work. Never jeopardize your well-being, your life, your family's life, especially when you have other people who are relying on you.
At the end of the day,
incredibly irresponsible.
It's video games.
Yeah, it's just video games. It's fun.
They're there to love, but not to don't ruin your life over it or anything. Just walk away if you need to.
Yeah, so starting to show off with what do they call it? A words of warning. Don't bring this kind of crap into the workplace, and don't let it affect you that much. And who cares what other people think? If you ever feel like you have to prove something to someone you don't even know online, you're fucking up.
Oh yeah,
right there.
The weirdest part to me too is that he was bragging, and a lot of the articles even said he was showing off his job to win an argument. And it's like, did you really win even though if you lost that job and you're not actually a doctor anymore?
Yeah, for real, right?
Like, technically, you still got the doctorate and everything, but like it's kind of useless now. So, at least for a long time until you can prove that you've learned your lesson or something. I don't know. I'd be
You have to start your own practice or something
to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope people forget about it.
Yeah, for real.
Aren't you that guy that loves PlayStation?
Yeah, like a lot. Like aren't you that guy super passionate about PlayStation? That doctor. Oh, ex-doctor. Sorry.
Yeah.
End of committee.
Somebody's definitely throwing out his PlayStation.
Yeah, for real. Well, speaking of PlayStation, but this is also an Xbox game, but it was showed at a PlayStation event. So kind of getting away from now, let's talk about actual games. So PlayStation did have an event just the other day, their State of Play. There were some cool games, but there's one that kind of stuck out to me. So and I also did find out it will be coming to Xbox as well. 5-player co-op game, which is very cool.
That's cool.
So yeah, exactly. So we had the big PlayStation State of Play event, and we got some news of some upcoming Xbox games that look really exciting. Capcom game. So it's called Exoprimal. It looks like a mixture of Anthem. Like as soon as I saw their suits, I was like, oh, this looks exactly like Anthem and Dino Crisis. I almost it was almost like the biggest tease that you're like, Capcom, okay, dinosaurs, okay. Oh, a lady with red hair, fantastic. This is Dino Crisis, guys. We're getting a Dino Crisis. And then they're like, no, Exo Mecha. I'm just like,
what?
Oh, okay, this looks cool, but this could still be Exo Mecha, but this could have just been Dino Crisis. Like you could have just called this Dino Crisis.
Exo Mecha?
Yeah, it. I just don't understand.
Yeah,
it looks really cool, but
yeah. I'm so glad that they're not just abandoning the sort of Anthem feel.
Exo Mecha is a different game. Sorry.
Yeah,
I kept on saying Exo Mecha, Exoprimal.
Yeah, Exoprimal. Yeah,
yeah.
But I was going along with it because they are kind of mixed. But I'm glad they didn't totally abandon the whole Anthem feel for a game, because I did enjoy the feel of it. It just they didn't quite get it right. Like I liked flying around. I liked being able to be more maneuverable and everything. And I think this is going to provide a lot of that still. But
yeah, I'm curious because it looks like most of them will be on the ground classes. I watched more, but there is a class that can fly. But I felt like these exo suits that they called them in this I watched a little bit more in-depth trailer. There's 5 different classes, and you can switch them out halfway through missions too. But they showed this really cool mechanic in the breakdown I was watching, where the ones with the shields can put up these almost like hollow shields in front of them, and there's this mechanic of you're almost getting overwhelmed with raptors, and 2 of you can hold them into like a cage almost, and keep on pushing them back almost like a front line to the game itself. So there's this really cool mechanic where you're just getting swarmed with just an outrageous amount of raptors.
Yeah, they were just pouring out of there too. I was surprised at how many friggin' enemies there are.
Too. Yeah. And that's how it is in the game, to the point where you have to hold them as a wall, and they almost start pouring over the wall at you. It's crazy.
Yeah, that looked like crazy. It looked like they were coming out of fire too and everything.
And there's flying ones too.
Oh hell yeah! And it just looks very anime styled almost. It was very fast paced, and all the moves were very kind of anime and cool. It was it is interesting, that's for sure. I'm excited to try that game.
You don't get a lot of 5-player co-op games too, which is exciting.
Yeah.
To get pretty much everyone. That could be me, you, Frank, Ryan, and Andrew. So
Mr. Andrew,
we can, Mr. Andrew come back in April apparently. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, nice.
But the art style, like you watched the trailer, right?
Yep.
As soon as they showed that zoom in shot of all of them, and like the other ones like fall down, and like you saw the big one with the shield, like all I could think in my head was Anthem. Like this looks almost like a homage. To
like especially
to
all
Anthem.
the classes and everything are very much like Anthem style classes. Like there's the one like small speedy flying one. There's like a ninja one.
Right.
Like
the one in the front is kind
of
of just like the overall, like,
tank or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever beat Anthem? It's on Game Pass, right?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't beaten it yet, but I got pretty far, I think.
I never played the full version. I only played the beta.
Yeah, I played pretty early on. I think I got the full version, and I was playing
the story
it for a bit,
good?
Yeah, I liked it. Like, it was interesting enough. I mean, it was kind of slow and not, like, I want to say not as memorable as, like, I wanted it to be. Like, they didn't go as in-depth to too much. They went pretty deep, but it was always kind of passing by. And there's a lot of reading to do and not as much, like, voice acting.
Well, it seems like Capcom is really leaning into their games as a service, like online structure for games.
Yeah.
Especially with Monster Hunter World and Rise, and now this, and probably even for future, like the Street Fighter 6. Yeah, Street Fighter 6 that will be coming out will probably be more of a live service game, which I was surprised they didn't show that at the PlayStation event. Makes me think it's actually not just a PlayStation 5 exclusive, so fingers crossed we can get more Capcom. Capcom, in my opinion, should always be multi-platform, and Capcom always had a little bit of love for Xbox, in my opinion, with Lost Planet and Dead Rising and stuff like that. But you can kind of say the same with PlayStation, with back in the day with the Resident Evil titles and Devil May Cry and whatnot. But Exoprimal, not Exomecha. Exomecha is actually a different game coming out, which it was supposed to. I think it was supposed to be out sometime last year, but been delayed. But like everything in this world, everything is getting delayed with the pandemic and now war in Europe. So that is really terrible. So Exoprimal, maybe a big game. God, I'd say the things with games like this, I really hope they open cloud streaming for games like you can purchase soon on Xbox. Because I'd say that's the worst thing. I think I said a couple episodes ago, but the worst thing about a game leaving Game Pass, if you own the game already, is losing the function to play it through the cloud. Because I play through, sometimes you just got to take a really long bathroom break, and you got to take that phone in with you. So, right?
That's what you got to do. I think they're just gonna keep growing. So eventually, that availability is gonna have to happen because it's gonna be like a feature people want, just like you're wanting right now, right? It's like eventually they're gonna have to come up with something like that so that we can actually do it.
Yeah,
we're
and games like
cloud streaming.
Yeah, and like games like Exomecha or even like DayZ. Well, you can do DayZ on the cloud right now. Yeah. So like if you need it, but if it leaves Game Pass, then you lose that capability, which sucks. Yeah. But speaking of, the Xbox platform and possibly even future platforms, it looks like we have a bit of a leak that happened during a data mine. Looks like we have a code name for Xbox Keystone, showing up in a data mine list. And it could be anything to a handheld to maybe even pro version of the Series X or maybe even a pro version of Series S. or maybe a VR headset. I think someone was thinking.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, one, before we kind of get into what our, well, I guess let's get right into speculation. If this is, let's say,
we have a name so
handheld.
far.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Keystone. So what could Keystone be?
Yeah. Like that's just it. It's so hard because what did the Series X and S really have to do with Scarlet?
Right? Also, maybe it's the last stone, the last puzzle piece, which in my opinion that would be a handheld, right?
Yeah, it's got to be either handheld or VR. Maybe it's both.
VR could be a thing. It's not like the console's not capable of doing it. Even the Series S, in my opinion, is more than capable. Come on, if the Oculus Quest 2 with the mobile processor in there is a VR machine, then a Series S would be blowing that thing out of the water.
Yeah. Well, I have no idea how you'd keep the fingerprints off it, but potentially you could even have just a headset mount for a mobile device that turns into VR.
Yeah, I would like a handheld though, something dedicated that has, Wi-Fi 6 built in, maybe even not something like a Steam Deck. I don't think with this platform you really need it, but something that is 5G capable, especially where you can put a SIM card in or has a built-in eSIM. So it actually can be a mobile device and take it out and use the 5G network to stream games. Maybe even have a special get in touch with carriers and be you can sell this gaming machine through, and it has to use your 5G to essentially work, right? Because it's streaming the games. But also have a Snapdragon chip in it, so it can do Genshin Impact or other things and maybe run on Android or something like that. Or maybe a basic form of Windows.
Have some games played right on the console rather than have it a streaming only device.
Well, yeah. But maybe basic games like Stardew Valley or Genshin Impact, stuff that can actually run off those mobile chipsets. But then again, with the announcement of the iPad Air 5th gen with did you see the iPad Air 5th gen announcement?
I heard about there was an Apple announcement, but I didn't catch up on it yet.
So it's in the States it's $599 the device. Okay. So it's their iPad Air. It's not the Pro, but it's they're in between. Yeah. They're putting the M1 processor with 8 gigs of RAM in it.
That's pretty crazy.
So it's an iPad Pro.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sweet.
That's crazy.
All
so
right.
The fact that we can get something like that in an iPad form factor makes me think that, why not something like that in a handheld that's half the size,
Yeah.
So I personally would like a handheld, but you were thinking maybe some VR?
I'm hoping some VR. There's more and more streaming platforms. Facebook's getting more into it and everything. They got to, PlayStation has VR and everything. Eventually they got to give in and do something about it. And I have a feeling it's been a long time coming, and this is them prepping to actually release some information on it.
Yeah. Gaming is a good gateway drug into the metaverse that they want us to all be, stuck in a pod. We keep on talking about the next pandemic, so I guess we're going to have to stay home. So let's get jacked in, right?
Yeah. We get all that going.
Yeah. But no, gaming is a good, like I said, gateway drug into getting into VR and expanding VR into more of a mainstream thing.
Yeah.
So, it just comes down to having the right platform and the right technology. But I feel like Microsoft should make a VR headset, but do what I was saying PlayStation VR 2 should do. Out of the box, be compatible with PC. If you have the first VR headset that you can plug into your Xbox, you can plug into your PC, you can plug into your TV.
Yeah. Game stream.
Through Game Pass, through Game Stream. And you got a game changer right there. Yeah. Or maybe even have it built into the headset itself. You know, has a basic mobile chip inside it and can do it streamed right from our network right into the headset itself.
Yeah.
So
even if it was like, if they could include some sort of cellular service in that like cost for like Game Pass, basically, if you made it like $25 a month and included some sort of data streaming service so that you could make that work, it would still be very difficult to pull off now. Like, I think we still got to update our technology a little first, like get the 5G networks going a little more, like,
because
they're already working on, exactly, they're already working on newer, better like forms of service like that, right? It's just already in development, but it's going to take time to actually deploy. So,
well, not everyone lives in a city and stuff, so right? But that even gets conjectured. But I'm hoping for a handheld. So fingers crossed.
Yeah,
fingers crossed. Considering how much I use the actual cloud streaming, like I'll do an hour recording of Guardians of the Galaxy, and then I'll probably play more of it in bed after this. So, but Keystone. So I don't think we'll hear anything about Keystone for a long time. Heck, it could be maybe even a controller or something. I don't know. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
So
that's just it. It could be just about anything. I'm hoping Keystone is like, we're going to change our whole platform to be around VR or something. I don't know. I like VR, but it's also very hard. It's not, I think, fully ready for what I want it to be yet.
It will be
a little hard on the eyes and stuff, but soon enough.
Yeah, and just needs a bit of more field of view, higher res, but that's all coming, right?
Right.
As soon as Apple announces their own VR headset, the things there will be different for sure.
Yep. Start putting those M1 chips in headsets. That would be awesome.
Well, they are. So get ready for that. But, keep an eye out for Keystone, Project Keystone. Maybe it's a little streaming box for your TV.
Yeah, it might just be their stream stick that they've been talking about.
Yeah. So
like a little key.
Yeah. Hey, Keystone. Yeah, no. That's not bad. Right. Yeah. We'll see. I always love new hardware, so. But talking about games still, and a game we haven't heard about in a while, and will soon be a future Xbox game. Will probably be on Game Pass by hopefully the time it comes out. But it looks like we got a huge update for Overwatch 2, and also apology at the same time, apologizing for not being more open about updates on the development of the sequel and not supporting their current game, Overwatch, which was the hugest first-person shooter to come out at the time, won Game of the Year, had a great support for about, maybe a year, a couple years just after, but has literally fallen off the face of the earth since then. And
a lot more tournaments and everything. There was tons of stuff. It was huge.
So much. It was merch everywhere. Like I don't know what they're doing. They did these cool shorts and stuff. But from what they said in the update is that they're going to be more open with updates. And it seems like the story mode of the sequel is starting to become a little probably more ambitious than they thought. And they've separated the PvP, the multiplayer, which everyone knows that's what Overwatch is known for, is the multiplayer. Separated that from the single player so people can start beta testing it. So it looks like there's a beta test starting today with internal people from Blizzard and tournament people. So, something we can't get into, sadly. But and probably people
in the press and whatnot. I could be really good. I could be really good at Overwatch.
Exactly, right? But in April, there will be more of an open beta that people can sign up for and
Nice.
get involved with. So
Go try that out.
Yeah, if they put Overwatch on Game Pass today, I'd probably start playing it a bit. I've always been kind of interested in Overwatch. Great set of characters, good gameplay, solid gameplay, and Blizzard makes good stuff. So I know they've dealt with some crap lately, and they've had a lot of reshuffles, and their reputation, deservedly kind of dragged through the mud based off of legacy people's actions that are not there anymore and stuff. But hopefully the company can grow from there. But I don't know. Now that it seems like the single player is going to be a little bit bigger, are you excited for Overwatch 2? It seemed like Overwatch 2 was just more of an expansion to Overwatch 1 when they first announced it.
I think Overwatch 1, when I got to play it, I played it well into its release. And I got to try it out a little bit and everything, but I was definitely not one of the better people online.
Yeah.
So it was a little difficult for me to get into, and I didn't have the money at the time, so I just kind of stayed away from it. So like a single player to play, because it was still fun game. It was still fun gameplay and everything. I enjoyed the weapons and some of the powers and everything. It reminded me kind of that one game we were playing where you're fighting the two giants.
Oh,
we were going back and forth.
Gigantic.
Yeah, Gigantic. Yeah,
I love that game.
I like so good
more than Overwatch.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was so fun.
Yeah, that game was, and they took it down. Oh,
yeah.
I paid money for that game to come back on.
Right, I'd buy it.
Yeah, I love Gigantic.
It was such a cool premise. They just needed some more modes and everything, and flesh it out a little more.
Oh yeah, I love the whole you had to go destroy the Guardian on the other side, and
you could meet a bunch of goals so that yours can go and attack, and
Well, and you build these different towers, and the towers that you could build like a Cyclops or like a dragon, and then level them up over time, and you had to take the different towers down and then kind of push yourself forward into their map, and there was good little choke points and stuff. God, that game was so good. I played I even got to into the DLC characters. I really played the different characters. That was one game I could actually be okay, I know this character does this move. I played it enough where I could actually be this hero's coming in. We're gonna have to watch out for their ult and stuff. Or I love that game. I miss Gigantic so much. So much.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they get some funding or something, and we get it on Game
That game
Pass.
is dead forever. It'll never come back.
You never know. They brought back deader stuff. Look at Duke Nukem. Not that turned out the best either, but
oh yeah, Duke Nukem was. But the thing with Gigantic, it was so polished. It was
awesome.
Just didn't have enough players. I played that game for hours, days. You can even say. I love that game.
I think
it never got out of beta. Yeah, and it never got out of beta.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it had really good gameplay too. It was fun. The heroes were cool. I miss Gigantic. So it turned from talking about Overwatch to missing Gigantic podcast.
Right.
But I hope Overwatch can kind of bring back the series. Maybe I'll get into Overwatch, now that I miss. He talked about Gigantic and made me think about that.
Made you nostalgic.
Exactly, right?
And that's just it. I've watched more of the movies than I've ever played of Overwatch, all the cutscenes and so I know a whole bunch of the stories, and the cutscenes are just great. They did a really good job on those. Yeah. So
that makes me excited for Blizzard's next survival game. So
yeah, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, hopefully just as cool as DayZ.
Hopefully cooler.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Daisy, is awesome as it is still janky.
Yeah, it's a rough game.
The jank is very present.
Oh, yeah. But I want a really flushed out single player for Overwatch. So I hope it's an ambitious single player game. Because when they announced it, it felt like just such a... They're like, oh, Overwatch 1 will still exist, and we're kind of just combining the multiplayer with it, and we're going to do some single player kind of smaller stuff that kind of acts like our event stuff we did. So people were just like, so it's just an expansion. So it seems like they kind of took that to heart, and they're maybe got to try and make this the sequel people deserve, especially like when you put a number to, in my opinion, when a Blizzard game comes out and it has a number attached to it as a sequel, that's a big deal in my opinion. Because we don't get Blizzard sequels often.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes it takes decades to get a sequel out of a Blizzard game. So, in my opinion, when they put a number behind something, it should mean something, especially for a Blizzard game.
Yep.
So, with that
something
said,
as big as Overwatch too, like it's got so much stuff out there.
Yeah, and it's going to be coming to Game Pass eventually. So, once that deal is done, so can't wait. And I'm a huge Blizzard fan. Like, I love World of Warcraft. Hopefully, Warcraft comes to Warcraft will probably come to Game Pass. So, Blizzard, man. Hopefully they're back. Diablo 4 looks awesome. So, and Overwatch 2 looks cool, and their next survival game looks really cool. So a lot of interesting stuff coming out of Blizzard, in my opinion. So fingers crossed we get something good. But I don't know. I don't have much more to say about this.
It's good. It's going to come out and we'll play it.
Yeah, we will. Well, a short but sweet episode this week, Dan. We're going to have a busy one next week. So we will look forward to having Mr. Boomstick XL from Double Barrel Gaming on next week. And I will also be joining him on Monday on Primetime Gaming at 7 o'clock. So make sure you join us then as well. So that should be fun. All right, Dan, take us home.
All right, don't forget to smack that subscribe button on our YouTube page and tippity-tap that like button. Comment on my wonderful voice and this guy's beautiful voice. And you can find us audio only on Spotify and Google Podcasts. Just search relentlessly for XboxNorth Podcast. We're also on Reddit and Instagram. Take a look for XboxNorth Podcast. And for Twitter, at NorthXbox. Because why would we make it easy for you?
Not at all.
Right? Bye-bye.
Have a good night, guys.